Hey everybody, Tommy here, World at War Comics, and my next special guest is Mr. Tomás Giorello. He is artist extraordinaire, been in the industry for 30 years, has worked on all the stuff from the big two, but some of my favorite stuff has been his long run on Conan the Barbarian, his work on XO ManOWar, Ninjak, over at Valiant Comic Books, and right now, some of his stuff that you could find has been blowing up, and that's because of Bad Idea and Planet Death, brought to you by Derek Kolstad, who is the creator. Rob Venditti, who is the writer, and obviously Tomas on art. Some of the best art, and you probably picked this up because over 900,000, close to a million, were sold over the weekend. Free comic book day. So hopefully you got yours. If not, go get it. I'm sure there's some left in stores, but I think you are about to see one of the biggest, if not the biggest comic book of the year. The art is just insane. The story is amazing. And yeah, a lot of fun. Bad Idea. The next issue comes out in July. All right, without further ado, here is Tomas and I. I hope you enjoy. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to World at War Comics. Back again, Mr. Tomás Giorello. Did I pronounce that right?
It's Giorello.
Giorello. But
Exactly.
perfect, perfect. Man, it's so good to have you back, Tom. I had such a blast at San Diego Comic-Con getting to meet you, Derek. I've had Rob on a couple times before. He's one of my favorite writers ever, and obviously Danish. We've been going back and forth, but to meet him in person, what a treat for me as a comic book fan to meet all of you. I mean, you've worked on some of my favorite titles. I'm a big XO ManOWar, Arik. I love it. And I know you worked on that, Ninjak. You worked with Danish before, and then obviously getting to meet Derek was pretty crazy. Creator of John Wick and Nobody, and he's just amazing, man. But anyways, it's so good to see you, man. How are you doing?
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure, and it's been a while. It's yeah, almost a year.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while, man. But boy, we got treated at San Diego Comic-Con with a little kind of a snippet of what we could expect. And man, I think you had all the buzz at San Diego Comic-Con just because of the art, right? There was no letters, no nothing at the time. It was just really art, and it was just the inks. But man, the detail. I gotta pull this out. The one page when all of them are like on a link going through with their watch. Let me show it to you. This is insane, man. The detail, like, I mean, talk about the work that goes into this, man.
Right. It's the double page with the guy who's
Yes.
being just processed.
Yeah, right here, man. This right here is insane. Look at all the people right here. And then obviously the ship too, which is on the next page, is just crazy, man. Just
Well,
crazy.
that was the idea. It's just to trying to come up with something that feels like out of scale and as much real as possible.
Yeah. Well, you nailed it, my friend. You nailed it, man. Can you kind of talk about I mean, how long did it take you, especially this first portion right here, because I think was it 10, 15 pages, as a just kind of a samples of some of the stuff that you were doing. And man, I think you people are going nuts at San Diego Comic-Con trying to get this. But the detail is just insane. Can you kind of walk through your process of how you kind of attacked it?
Sure. I mean, what I usually do, I mean, as I told you before, this is the first time that I do just pencil, inks, and just some tones with watercolor. What I usually do is just fully render pencils that just go straight to colors and publishing. But so I have to come up with something, complete and steady just to deliver pages every single month steadily. So I usually do like 20 pages a month, but with this particular technique, I have to do like 10 or a little bit more than that, but not much more than that. Because, first of all, I have to do the fully finished pencils just to have approval and everybody just can, kind of review it and everything, just to be sure that, because it's such a big project, and it has so many different things that I had to design, before starting it. And also, I've been designing stuff as I go, and that takes extra time. So I always, leave a little time for that. And then comes the inking process, the coloring process, sorry, the watercolor process. So yes, I'd say that I'm doing, 10 pages a month, which is not much actually for me, but it's a lot if I consider, that I'm doing three different things instead of just one. And I also wanted to pay extra attention to, I mean, I've always been like a detailed kind of artist. I like to do that because it makes things feel like more real, and it gets you into the story easily. You know what I mean? The more elements you have to play with, it's the more easy you can just get lost in that world, whatever this is. And so I wanted to pay extra attention to that. Dinesh also told me that. He was very specific about it. Like, just go as huge as possible. If it's going to take extra time, we can talk about it. We can work around it. But it's something that it's definitely in the story. It's something that has to be like huge, and it has to feel like that. You know what I mean? Like, this is like a huge army. Well, it should feel like that. So go crazy. If the ship is big, just do it. It's like a huge city, flying, whatever. And that takes a lot of time.
That is for sure, man. But I will tell you from a fan perspective, it's well worth the wait because, man, once we got the color and the old school newsprint, which I absolutely loved, just the feel of newsprint after so many years since the 80s
Right.
is really cool to kind of touch and feel again. I don't know when the last time you opened maybe some of your old comics, but that newsprint feels good, man. I kind of miss it to be honest, but I mean, just to give you an idea, I showed you just the pencils and inks, but here it is colored, and it just looks fantastic, man. Can you talk about a little bit of the designs of the characters, of the machinery? Like, what were some of your inspirations when kind of building out this world? Obviously, the team probably gave you some ideas, but you must have ran with it and said, "Ah, I think this will look cool."
Right. Well, for the ship, I remember, I don't know the name for this of this show, but it was very famous. That they were like pirates with this huge, insane ship that was somehow high tech. At the same time, it was kind of familiar with the usual, pirate ships. It was a very, very popular show that I saw as a kid. I can't remember the name right now, but I kept that in mind without looking at it again because I didn't want to be just influenced. But I kept that in mind, like doing something like that, but totally out of scale again. Um, and for the armor, we tried like three different kinds of armor. Bigger, or there was some armor specifically done for snipers. The other one for like tanks, which are actually, it's like a huge suit that works as a tank, and the armor that's got the main character of the story wears. But Scott's armor, actually, yeah, I think I did three different designs, and they just start blending things because that's the thing when you design things. Option one, option B. Well, we'll like a little bit of both, and you end up doing more and more, which is interesting because designing stuff, it's one of the things that I like the most. And for the alien race, that was different. I did like probably three or four different designs for the aliens. I mean, not just one design. I did like a lot. First, it was supposed to be. I mean, there were just different ideas. So first was like a hell more tech. Aliens were a lot more technological. Um, we just kept working and talking, and what we came up with this, which is a blend between fantasy and I don't know, some more wild idea of they're actually bigger than humans, so that's why they come up with this armor, so they just can't balance the equation. But it was it was amazing. It was very, very relaxed exercise. I love doing that. Everybody had a voice. Everybody said, why do this, why would we do that? Every ideas were welcome. And we just, it was again, it was a very relaxed, thing, and I enjoyed it very much. And actually, I keep on doing this because things, there's going to be, I don't want to spoil anything, but there's going to be more things that I had to design, and he's going to be the character is going to be involved in more situations, and I have to design things for that and as I go. So it's something that we all talk about, and I really enjoy that. I don't have any problem, just going back and forth and why don't you do this and why did you change that, and I have another idea. I like to combine things. I mean, you can design forever probably because yeah, I mean, there's always something that you want to add, and then there's, I don't know, you have this other second idea that you just, been thinking about. So eventually you have to say, just stop. This is what we got. Let's work with this, because otherwise I just can keep on going because it's fun. It's very interesting.
Yeah. How does this compare to some of the other stuff you've done with XO ManOWar, Conan the Barbarian? Like, where do you kind of place this in your career? And like, talk a little bit about the excitement of this compared to some of the other stuff that you've done. It sounds like it's a lot more different in the process today than you were using back then, right?
Yes, I mean, aside from the the technique part, because again I'm doing things and stuff like that. What I was doing Conan, I did Conan for 8 years probably, um, and the whole idea was to expand that universe that was in the stories. What I mean is, I'm 50 years old, and I remember reading the Bucemas and other monsters, giants stories. And I remember that back in those days, the story was told in a more dynamic way. There were not so many backgrounds. It was the style of the 70s, probably. Now thanks to Brian Hitch and other masters, now we are, we have to do more. We have to put more, which I really like because again, it gives you a sense of reality of there's a universe, there's a world that you can explore, and the details gives you hints of that. Um, I did that with Conan, knowing that okay, I got this information, let's combine it and expand it a little bit more. But for this one in particular, what I enjoyed the most is creating a new world. I really like that. Again, I did that with the EXO story. Also, I had to excuse that because he was in another planet. Everything was just brand new. I can, start from scratch, and I love to do that. And with this particular story, again, I had the opportunity to start from zero, and try to come up with a believable world that can feel real, though it's alien, but at the same time, it reminds us a little bit Earth because of the eyes and everything. But there's a lot more to see. Again, I can't spoil things, but there's a huge range of scenarios that had to be designed, and again, in order to give you a sense of that this is a universe, this is a culture. It looks way different than the humans, so that has to be like recognizable in a second. Even if you see just the soldier and the alien silhouettes, you should immediately say, "No, this is the guy." Okay, that comes with a lot of designing work. Um, I enjoyed it big time.
I love that. And then you worked with Rob before, you've worked with Dinesh before, right? At Valiant.
Right,
Have you done anything with Rob since Valiant up until this point, or is this the first time working with Rob again after many years?
first time.
Wow, wow.
First time.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing, and I love the way he writes. I love the way that um he portrays things in his head what he's writing. It's not just that, well, did the guy do this and that, and you just handle with that. He gives you a sense of I can see the whole scene. It's not just facts that you are drawing. So that helps a lot and says a lot about his experience. and at the same time, he gives you all the information you need just to portray this world, but at the same time, it's not dictated. You know what I mean? It gives you freedom, and it allows you to play with a lot of things that he already said that are there, but doesn't feel like you are forced to, or you that you have to. You know what I mean? And that's a very difficult thing to accomplish. You know, that to just to carry things and suggest things, but set the things that you feel that are very important and that should be there at the same time. That's a very subtle game that I really enjoy, and he's a master.
Yeah. No doubt. I mean, he's one of my favorite writers of all time, and his XO ManOWar is, I think he's the best writer of that character. Really, between you guys developing that world, it's incredible. And then obviously Green Lantern and everything he's done since then, leading up to this has been amazing. I'm so happy that you two are together on this, just from a storytelling telling standpoint, and obviously from the art. And then what's it like working with Derek, who I believe this is his first time really delving into the comic world, but obviously he's a prolific writer, having written, the John Wick. At least the first three movies were based on his writings. They've kind of, he sold it, and they've kind of gone on in different areas. But man, incredible writer. What's it been like, kind of collaborating with him too?
It's insane, actually. I remember one of the first things that Dinesh showed me was this huge story in the Hollywood Reporter, and just seeing my name just next to his and Rob's for me was like, that's insane. And then I got to meet him at San Diego last year, and it's such a nice guy, such very easy to get along with, and such a nice person. And I remember, talking to him about my work and everything. Says everything is fine. I like it. I like, again, this idea exchange that we all did. But of course, he had a very strong voice, and he has a lot of ideas. And I mean, again, you should expect that somebody that huge, that important, would just dictate things like, and it's totally the opposite. You know what I mean? It's everything is full of possibilities. He's very open to any kind of suggestions that I may have. No, it's been seriously, it's been like a very very. I mean, I'm not just saying it. I feel very comfortable, and I remember being very nervous the first time we all meet, because actually it was the first time I've met everybody in person. I haven't met Dinesh in person. Only I only did that last year, so I was very nervous. And everybody from Derek to Dinesh to Rob. I mean, everybody has been amazing, and so open and so kind with every kind of suggestions, new ideas, and of course there's a lot of things where perhaps you agree or you don't, but in such a nice tone, you know what I mean? That makes everything so much easier. It makes my job actually so much enjoyable.
Well, it had a lot of fan support, this first issue that came out on Free Comic Book Day. My understanding, 900,000 copies. It's insane. Almost 1 million copies of this was sold. Maybe it's 1 million now. I don't know, but that is absolutely incredible for real. I mean, unless you're at San Diego or New York, you might not even heard about this, right? And so for the word and the marketing to get out like it did with obviously Dinesh with Valiant, he's just a master at that. But man, congratulations for I mean, I think it's the most sales for a single issue comic book. I want to say since X-Men 1 with Jim Lee, and I can't remember what I would read, but that's crazy, Tom. That's insane, man.
Some I cannot, I'm not getting into that because it drives me mad.
Mind blowing, right?
Yeah, it's mind blowing.
Mind blowing. I mean, just the detail. Like I'm sure there's still some out there. So anybody watching, if you haven't picked this up, man, this is crazy, man. It's just insane. And if you were lucky enough to be at, I believe, New York and San Diego, this was being provided as well. So man, I'm just so excited about this title. It's going to be amazing. And the next issue, which comes out in June. You were
Mhm.
telling me before we hit record, it'll have 56 pages. So it's going to be a very meaty issue. And I cannot wait to see that. Oh, July. I'm sorry. First issue's in July. In July.
Yes.
Says it right back here as I was telling you that I read it. But incredible. But man, the world building has been absolutely incredible. The art is absolutely incredible. Just a beautiful, beautiful comic book. And I don't know if newsprint will be used in the next issue as well. My assumption is it's not, and I'm just making an assumption here, only because this one wasn't done in newsprint. So my
Right.
assumption it'll be done like this, but again, we don't know the answer to that as well. But what a great way to give people a first opportunity to jump into this world at $2. I mean, nothing's $2 anymore. So, what a very inexpensive way to jump into the number one selling comic book over the last, I don't know how many years. Absolutely incredible. And you can see why with that art. Art, I mean, obviously the storytelling has to be there or a person will never return. But that first time someone picks up, it's always the art that captures you, right? You're like, oh, that looks really cool. You pick it up, and if the art's great, you got them at least for that one issue. Now, if the story's not good, they'll never come back. But we know Rob's amazing, so you know the story's going to be incredible because he's one of the best, I think, comic book writers in the industry. So, super exciting, Tom, and I cannot be happier for a nicer person in the industry than you, my friend. That's absolutely incredible. Congratulations on everything.
Thank you so much. I'm humbled, my friend. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Now, are there any other things that you're kind of working on outside of Planet Death, or are you solely just given to this one project right now?
Um, I'm doing these pages, and also I'm also working on the Save Now pages.
Okay.
Um, Again, I don't know how is it that they're gonna organize it, but I'm just something that is on my table right now. But of course, there's priorities and then deadlines and everything. But I'm exclusive. I'm a bad idea exclusive artist, so it's all I'm doing right now. But yeah, and now I'm preparing some new pages that I unfortunately can't show because Dinesh would kill me.
Yeah. Don't get in trouble.
But exactly. But it's been, it's been such a nice experience, such a different experience for me because again, I haven't, I've worked at DC and other, big titles. I did Batman and everything, but never in a book that got so much attention, such as this one. So for me, after an almost 30 years career, it's like I'm 15. You know what I mean? I'm just everything's new, everything it's bigger than I thought. So I'm still amazed.
Yeah, yeah. I'm happy for you, man. Well deserved, well deserved. Now, as far as hitting the cons, do you have any Comic Cons that are coming up this year where you'll be at where fans could take this issue and get it signed or in July? Are you going to be at any Comic Cons?
I'm gonna be I'm gonna be in San Diego for sure. That's a fact. I don't know about later ones, but because I'll be very busy. But of course, I'll be promoting the book, with Rob and Dinesh at San Diego. But I'll take it from there because the priority is just delivering the pages, be consistent, about providing material. So that's my goal, and the only one I have set so far is San Diego.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's exciting. I'm sure Bad Idea will have a big booth, and it looks like the armor has been making its rounds as well. So if you want to try on the armor and take a picture with the armor on, that's
Definitely.
that's
Yeah.
amazing. It looks so
That was
cool.
insane, by the way. Yeah, when Dinesh showed me that, it was like, that's not possible. That's it's insane. I mean, and to see something that you designed just 3D, like a real thing, I have to take a picture.
Yeah. Oh, you got to get in it. You have to wear that for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely.
You have to. And I know you can't tell on the video, but you're a pretty tall guy, so you might have to crouch down because I saw some pretty small people getting into that thing. I love it. I love it, Tom. That's amazing, man. Well, I love everything that Bad Idea has coming up. If you haven't been to San Diego Comic Con or New York Comic Con, there was breakouts, and Danish and the rest of the team did an amazing job, kind of highlighting a bunch of different things that are coming from Bad Idea. We got some sample information when we were there, which was really exciting. So a lot of really cool stuff coming very soon from Bad Idea, starting with Planet Death. And man, Planet Death is absolutely incredible. If you're not reading it, you're making a huge mistake in your comic book life. I'm just telling you right now, you're missing out on literally one of the best stories that have come out this year so far. I've absolutely loved it, man. Tom, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. Kind of last minute, we threw this together, man. I can't believe that you were available with as busy as you are, but I really appreciate you coming on. I hope we could do this again. I would love to have you come back in July once this 56 page issue comes out. And I would love to, once everybody gets it in their hands, talk about some of the art and work into some of the details. I think that'd be a lot of fun if you're up for it.
Sure, and I'll have a lot more to tell.
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
sure
exactly.
because right now it's like I don't know how much should I say, I don't know how much can I show, most of all. But hopefully, yeah, one things that were revealed with this book, I think we'll be able to talk more, and I can show you, more things about the process and the things that I've been doing. Hopefully, so I'm looking forward to.
I love it, man. I love it. Well, Tom, thank you so much for joining me today. Always a pleasure seeing you, my friend. I'm a big fan of yours, and yeah, thank you.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you for having me. And it's again, forgive me my bad English and my excitement. It's gets in the way. So thank you so much for having me. It's been a
Yeah.
pleasure.
Your English is better than my Spanish, so no problem at all. All right, Tom. Until next time, my friend. Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, hold on. Let me hit stop.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.